And we're going now. Okay, I guess if you want to start off with, tell us your name and what you do here.
I'm Assunta and I publish two newspapers, the Northwest Asian Weekly and the Seattle Chinese Post.
And in terms of publish, what all does that entail, like your job here?
Well, basically, I oversee the two newspapers, the management and the editorial content, and the business side, like getting ads. I manage the people who get ads too, and the editorial for both newspapers. Yes.
Well, I understand it's definitely a lot of people read this, and the circulation is pretty big. How do you feel your job contributes to just kind of making a difference in the API community?
I never have dreamed that my job is so important. It is very important because I, sort of oversee the type of stories that we would have in the paper, and I like very positive story. Of course, we have really negative news, like killings, violence, that type of thing, but I also like to make sure it's a balance of very positive news that empower the community. Like if we have people in our community running for office, definitely I want that to be on the front page. And we want to make sure that gender diversity is balanced on our front page and throughout the issues. So for instance, there are times when we have 4 stories on the front page and we have 4 male pictures. No. So I told the editor we have to put in a female picture, so we have to change it because of the balance issue. So I want to make sure that males and females feel that they can be leaders in this country and they can be role models for the younger generation.
You talk about balance and for reporting. Obviously, you have a journalism background there. What is personally your goal with the newspaper, your overall goals as publisher?
Overall goal is to empower the Asian community, also be a bridge between the Asian community and the mainstream community, also be a very strong voice. I don't mean just small voice, I want everybody to feel that they are part of the newspaper and the community, so if they have concerns, they can always, write to us or call us what they, have seen, and it's something that they really bother them. So we depend on them as our sources for stories too. So any type of complaints, like the Chinese Post is different from the Asian Weekly. The Asian Weekly is more or less like an ethnic community newspapers, whereas the Chinese Post is pretty much about mainstream news written in Chinese. So President Obama, the Iraq War, the economy, it's very much in the Chinese Post. Because our immigrant community, they might have a language issue, so they have a preference of reading things in their native language. So, if the story, somebody tell us that they have a scam going on, somebody, cold call, and really it's a scam going on, so this person call us, and we write that into a story, because not everyone is very quick with their computer or pen. So we want to use that as a warning to our community. If next time somebody call you, you be careful.
You mentioned the computer and you're just getting the word out. Obviously, you have hard copies, but you're available online as well, correct?
Yes. We want to make sure that we can reach people different ways. I know that a lot of the newspaper are going to the trend of just using the internet, but I still think there are a lot of people in the community still want to hold that hard copy. So we can reach people in 2 different ways. I would rather keep that. And of course, it's more economical to do just the online version, but then you will cut out like 50% of your readership. I don't want to do that. I mean, I want to be able to reach as much as I can, even though it might cost a lot more in the print version.
Aside from the newspapers that you published, that I'm sure take a lot of your time. I just saw all the awards and stuff out there, and Woman of the Year and stuff like that. What else are you doing in the community in terms of fundraising and stuff that are just trying to make a difference in the API community in general?
I have done a lot of community work. I like the projects that I create, not just through the newspaper, but for other community groups that approach me and say, I have this need, and I'll do whatever I can to support. For instance, last year the UW Business School came to me and said, we didn't have a scholarship endowment for undergrad in the School of Business. And I said, that's not good. I found out that they have an undergrad scholarship for blacks and Hispanic, but nothing for API community, and that's a shame. So I said, I'll do it. I want to make sure there is a scholarship endowment for undergrads, API undergrads. So we did that just in one dinner. We raised $55,000 in one night, and we keep the money for 1 year, and then next year, that means this year, fall, an API will be able to get a business scholarship.
That is awesome. You're a
Yeah.
saint. That's great. I guess a follow-up question to that, and that's something we talked about in our classroom at South Seattle Community College. I guess the myth of the model minority that Asian Americans are so successful that they don't need help, whereas there's an African American scholarship and a Latino American scholarship. Do you see that in just your dealings with people, that sometimes there's an assumption or even a stereotype that Asian Americans are better off and sometimes don't get help that they actually need or deserve?
Well, we need all the help we can get. For instance, a lot of people think that we are so smart we don't need any help in math and science. Wrong. I'm terrible in math and science, and I wish in my days, there were some mentors that can, just literally, come to me and say, you need help in math? Okay, I can tutor you. You need help in science? I can show you all the nuts and bolts. But I don't have anyone, and I assume that there are a lot of Asian American kids out there who are struggling with their math problems or geometry. They don't know where to turn to, and then the worst thing is, I don't know how to do it. I'll drop the class, and that's just a tragedy. So I want to be able to reach out in all kinds of ways so that our people does not feel that I need help and I don't get it. So if somebody comes to me and say, I have a little blur that wants to reach out to Asian American youth in technology, and we would run that, or we even do a story on that, because we want our people to realize that you don't have to fail, because there are resources out there, and you just don't know how to get through it, that's all.
Exactly. How about you personally? I guess, where were you born, where did you grow up, and how did you get to Seattle?
I was born in China, raised in Hong Kong, and I came to America to study when I was 19. And I wanted to come to America to study because I just feel that I didn't have any future in my native land, and girls were supposed to, just find a good husband and get married, and they don't talk about ambitions at all. Well, in fact, in those days, I didn't even know what it meant to be ambitious. But I wanted to come to this country because I just felt that I was so confined where I was, that I wasn't able to develop my own potential. And the way that I was raised with very traditional parents, I thought they tie my hands rather than unlock my, talents. So at one point, all of a sudden, I woke up and I said, this is not working for me. I need to find my own my identity, and the way to do it is really to leave my parents and my native land and start all over new.
That obviously was a tough decision, but you're here now. Did you ever envision that it would turn into something like this?
Oh, no. Even to let my parents say yes, let me go, was a battle. And but I was able to win that battle against my parents' wishes.
I know there's a tight-knit Asian